How are you doing? Sunday night. Man, that derby yesterday. Oh my gosh. And to think, I took a day off for that. Well, if they had left the winner the way it was, I might have been in pretty good shape. I had a lot of things going there, but then sadly, we all saw how it turned out. We have got just one break this evening, and that is Score Football. It's a half case of Score Football, and that is the back half of a case. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty easy. We're going to be able to just jump in here and get going. I'm trying to fix something on the spreadsheet. I'm doing a terrible job multitasking, but now I think I have it done. So, yikes, I know, right? My multitasking skills leave something to be desired today. So as always, there is a little bit of information that we like to go over before we start ripping into things. So we're rolling with that right now. First up, feedback. It is set to be 100% automated. That is done simply so that you do not have to wait on me. Anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you're going to instantly get the same in return. And of course, the second thing there is just simply to say thank you. I appreciate those of you who bid and break and chat and hang out with me, keep me company, and all that kind of stuff. We are next going to take a look here at things that are coming up. So this is the stuff that we're going to be breaking over the course of the next several days. Tomorrow night is Flawless Football. It's a half case break, and it is the back half of a case that we started, I don't know when, a couple days ago anyway. And we're also going to open another full case of National Treasures basketball. On Tuesday, we'll open the last Gold Rush autograph basketball jersey that I have on hand. I'm sure they'll make more. They usually do, like Series 1, Series 2, etc. But this is the last one that I have on hand at the moment, and we'll break it Tuesday night, along with some Gold Rush basketball value packs. There are 12 value packs in a box. And a box is pretty much the same as a case when it comes to the Gold Rush stuff. And there are 3 cards per value pack, I believe. So I think we're looking at 36 total, but double check the listing on that. Also a half case of Bowman baseball, which will be the start of a new case. That's all Tuesday night. Wednesday night, we'll start at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. We have just one new release that comes out that day, and it is Tier 1 baseball. Our Spectra basketball and some other stuff got moved, so the only thing new is Tier 1. We will open a case of that along with another 5-box case of the TriStar Game Day Greats autographed football jerseys. On Thursday, we'll open Tier 1 again and National Treasures basketball again, both by the full case. On Friday, what they tell us right now, as of today, is Leaf Best of Sports comes out. So that's a multi-sport product. So the spots are going to be sold by the first letter of the last name, and Redemptions has its own bidding category. Like most of the other Leaf Bests of, they have added some redemptions. You're not guaranteed to get one, but if one falls in a case, it could be for memorabilia or, a box of something or a pack of something rare. Anyway, if we pull any redemption, it would go to that particular bidding category. And we will also open, that is an incorrect number, it is not 6 times, it is 5 times, a half case of Gypsy Queen baseball, which will also be the start of a new case. So that's what the days ahead are looking like tonight. Super easy, guys. One break, that's our Score Football half case, back half of a case. Veteran base cards had their own bidding spot. They do not ship to the teams. Teams are going to get rookie cards, inserts, numbered cards, parallels, and of course autographs. But you're not going to get any veteran base. That had its own bidding category. And expecting to get it on the way to you approximately Wednesday. It is a dreadful, horrible, time-consuming sort. So it is always possible it could be a day later. And it could be a day sooner, but I kind of doubt it because it is really just dreadful to sort. But anyway, we're going to have fun opening it, at least. So 6-box half case of 2019 Score Football. This is break number 2. Team names, of course, are on the left-hand side. The winning bidders are across from it there on the right-hand side. And I guess that's all the news to use there. So we're actually going to get right down to business tonight. Last little thing I'm going to do, you're probably going to see here, the background will go slightly out of focus, and that is actually on purpose. That's intentional. So we're still going to be able to see the cards. Don't worry about that. Some people, you know, they see that background go out of focus and they kind of panic, but that's why I warn you ahead of time. Don't panic. It's all good. Hi, Greg and Ruben and Brandon. How was your Sunday night, gentlemen? How are things going for you? So once again, this is the back half of a case, so we don't have to worry about taking all the boxes out and numbering them and all that, because we already did that when we opened the first part of this lovely case. So we can just kind of get busy with it. Kirk is here too. Hi, Kirk. And this is, these are jumbo packs in here. And they're structured in a way that makes it a little less cumbersome to break, in the sense that all the veteran base is right up at the front of the pack. And then you will find a certain card, which will let us know that everything below that is either going to be a rookie card or an insert, a numbered card, a parallel, or an autograph. So since veteran base cards don't ship and they go to their own bidding position, we don't have to, I'm doing it in this first pack just to demonstrate what I'm talking to you about. But then in subsequent packs, we will just kind of scoot right to this part and not shuffle through those veteran base, since they're not going to the teams. All right, so we have got all kinds of things in here. These are, of course, our rookies. They're in their collegiate uniforms, but I will painstakingly go through everything and make sure that it does go to its correct NFL team. So Baker Mayfield Epics. Speaking of that, here's what you need to know in that regard. So if somebody was not drafted, but they have signed a deal since then. Oh man, I got the wrong sleeves on the table. So let's say, you know, they signed a rookie camp deal or a mini camp deal or whatever kind of deal they've signed. If they are currently associated with an NFL team, the card will go to that NFL team. So even though they may have been undrafted, if we can verify that, hey, they've signed a deal with whoever, that's where it's going to go. So hopefully that's should be pretty easy to follow, I think. So Deontay Thompson here is an Arizona Cardinal. And some of those I may know or remember from having done the sort. A few of them I wrote down on a little, what I'm going to call a little cheat sheet that helps me kind of remember some of the ones that I'm likely to forget. So some of them I may be able to look up on there. Some of them I may remember, and some of them, honestly, I may not know. But of course, again, I will make sure that I have it all happily verified before I sort it to send it out the door to you. Another insert that we'll find tons of, these fantasy stars. I should have pointed this out too. We'll find plenty with that gray border. Those are not numbered, but they are kind of a type of variation, so I send them. All hands team, that's a hollow foil front. Those are generally not numbered. Ditto with signal callers, hollow foil front, and typically unnumbered. And I think, I mean, that's basically how it's going to flow. So that gives you a pretty good idea of what we're going to be finding in these packs. Of course, we're looking for 4 autographs per box. I don't know if I said that yet. So 4 per box and 1 buyback card per box. Of course, Score is officially 30 years old, and our buyback cards are all from the first year of Score, 1989. And as such, they will often have, you know, imperfections as a card of that age you might expect. So they don't come out minty perfect, but they're kind of cool, and they have a little foil stamp on them just to designate that it's a buyback, although we will certainly recognize them, I do believe. TJ Hawkinson, and TJ is numbered to 50. And TJ, I should know this. He was first round and early. Why can't I think where TJ Hawkinson goes? I don't know, but I'm sure I wrote it down because I can't remember it. Did I write it down? Yes, the Lions. Why do I have such a hard time remembering that? Detroit Lions taking TJ Hawkinson in the first round of the draft. Hi, Chris. Did I say hi to you a while ago? I looked over there and I think I saw you jump in, but I don't remember if I actually said hello or not. So if I didn't, sorry about that. This little beauty happens to be numbered. It is numbered to 30, and it is Miles Boykin. And Miles, where did Miles go? He is a Raven. Seems like the Ravens drafted about 8 million people. And anybody that they didn't draft, they later signed as an undrafted free agent because they signed about 8.5 million of them too. So the Ravens have a lot of skin in the game. The Giants also seem to have signed a lot of undrafted guys. Several teams picked up a lot of guys after the fact, which is the norm. You know, never know how long they're going to stick around, but in the meantime, they've got a home and a little bit of cash while they try to make a name for themselves. This is Travion Williams, and he is a Cincinnati Bengal. Yeah, I could not believe how long this sort took. Like, it took about, like, I was expecting it to take a while. I thought it was going to take a fair amount of time, but oh, it far exceeded my estimate. Because I had to stop and look up so many guys. There were so many undrafted guys, not just in the autographs, but even in, you know, the base cards and stuff. It's like, oh, it took a long time. That's why I wrote a bunch of them down, so I don't have to do that again. Numbered to 30, it is Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. Where did I put our other numbered card? I should put those together so we can recap them if I can figure out, where did I just stack it? I must have stacked it with it must have been a rookie. Yeah, there it is. That way we can check it out in a little while. Captains, just another insert series. Throwbacks, which is a cool insert series, but those also are not numbered. But Leaf Best of Sports, by the way, that we were talking about earlier, that ends on Friday, it is all listed in the football category. That's usually where I list the multi-sport stuff. It just, I don't know why, it seems easier to put it in there. So that's typically what we do. And it's the same as the other Leaf Best ofs. You know, it'll be an encased buyback card, and then there'll be original Leaf cards that you can get too. So here's our buyback. You can see that little foil stamp on there. And this one is Steve McMichael for the Bears. You can also kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. The edges and corners definitely are very soft on that one. You can kind of tell that card was maybe loved a little bit back in its day, but that's part of the charm of the buyback. At least I think it is. Anyway, that's my take on things. So I didn't really watch my Reds today because I was busy. I had a lot of stuff to do. But I did see an alert pop up that apparently, playing the Giants, we hit 3 batters in a row hit home runs. Like, can you imagine? So, yeah, I kind of wish I had been watching it once I saw that. This one is numbered to 50. It's Eddie Jackson for the Chicago Bears. I kind of would like to have seen that, but can you imagine being that pitcher? Like, how horrible would that be? You have 3 back-to-back home runs hit off of you. That's got to be so depressing. I'm not even sure who was pitching for the Giants since I wasn't watching it. I literally just saw the ESPN like headline alert pop up on my phone. Vernon Davis for the Redskins has the gray border there. Some fantasy stars, some throwbacks, an autograph. Our autograph is Patrick Laird. He actually has a nice looking signature, doesn't he? I kind of think, anyway. And Patrick was an undrafted free agent who has subsequently signed a deal with the Miami Dolphins. So Patrick there headed to the Dolphins. I think I found maybe there was only one guy that had like 3 base cards or something that hasn't yet signed a deal, and he's the only one out of everything in here that was undrafted that hasn't already signed a deal somewhere, and he may have by now. That is /20. It is Cooper Kupp. Well, the Derby, Chris, oh gosh, that was, the mud, that's not really that unexpected. We've had a lot of rainy, nasty derbies in recent years, so that didn't bother me. I got to tell you, though, the outcome of the race was horrendous, just horrendous. I mean, the guy on the 20, the rider on the 20 that filed an objection was not touched or bothered or impeded by the horse that clearly was the best horse in the race and won the race, and it didn't cost him a placing. He was never going to win that race. And, frankly, he did step over into the path of the 1. He impeded the 1 horse a little bit, War of Will. But that jockey is not the one who filed the objection. You know why? Because he was so far back in the field, and he knew that his horse had no chance of being in the money, whether or not the winner stepped in his path. So I think that jockey that filed the objection on Country House was just a punk. I mean, I've seen derbies run way rougher than that, with way more banging around and paths cut off and serious stuff happen where nothing is done. And for that guy to file that and then end up getting the winner DQ'd and he gets the win that way, oh, I hated that outcome. As far as I'm concerned, that horse will never be a Derby winner, nor is that jockey, nor is that trainer. They absolutely had no business doing that. That is for the Buffalo Bills, Devin Singletary. And had it been had he actually been affected or impeded by it, okay, maybe, but he wasn't. I mean, he even said in his post-race commentary, yeah, well, I had to go sideways there a tiny bit, but I really had a good run down the stretch, no problem. So, come on, you little punk. So that's what I think about the outcome of the Derby. Aside from the fact that I think it cost me a lot of money, because I had maximum security tied to a lot of different bets. That is numbered to 35. It's an artist proof for Mitch Trubisky and the Chicago Bears. Yeah, I mean, it was the Oaks Derby double. There was, the Oaks Woodford Derby pick 3. There was the Daily double that was the race prior and the Derby. There were the trifecta. I mean, you name it. It was all keyed to maximum security. So I thought I was going to have a good little payday, and I ended up not getting jack diddly because I sure didn't bet Country House. That's for sure. Well, he was in my try, but, running second or third, not to win, obviously. All right, this is DeForest Buckner for the San Francisco 49ers. It's hollow foil, and it is numbered to 30. So, anyway, I don't know. It was very disappointing, though. First Derby winner disqualified in the history of the race, except for somebody like a million years ago that got DQ'd way after the fact for some kind of medication violation. But, yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't even want to be the connections that I mean, I guess you would want to be. They get all the money from the purse, but I wouldn't want to win that way myself. There is no honor in stealing a derby that you had no chance to win. Byron Murphy, little cornerback. I do believe he was taken by the Arizona Cardinals at the top of the second round, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that, but I think he went top of the second round to Arizona. After I sort this a few more times, I probably will have it all memorized. And then it'll be about that time. They'll start releasing all these undrafted guys, and they'll sign with new teams, and I'll have to start all over again. Hakeem Butler. And then we have a throwback there. Bradley Chubb and Epics for the Saints, and a Matt Stafford captains, a huddle up for the Rams. And those were our inserts. That's our little stack of rookie cards. All those young men we're pinning our hopes on for the upcoming season. But I don't know. How'd you do, Chris? Did you win any money on the Derby? Did you do any good at all? Or were you also in my same boat? Would have won money if they had left the race alone, perhaps. Hunter Renfro comes up next. And Hunter, I gotta look Hunter up. I know I wrote him down. Where you go, Hunter? The Raiders. That's another team, of course, that has lots and lots of guys associated with them. They had a ton of draft picks from all their trades, of course, and also signed a few UDFAs. Just get down to the little meat of it. That is Zemini's. It is numbered to, 50. I do not remember where he goes. You like seeing all the hats? Yeah, I tell you, I can't think of another place in the country or another event in the country where you find that many hats in one place. On women, I mean. You know, men, you can go to a ballpark probably and find a lot of men in hats, but to find that many women in hats in one place, yeah, Derby's kind of unique in that sense. They do usually have some interesting ones, too. All right, we have Jalen Hurd headed your way, and Jalen is numbered to 35, and, what is Jalen? A 49er? 49er, I believe, for Jalen Hurd. I think that is correct anyway. And again, guys, I will double check all of this before it gets shipped out. So I know some of these I'm saying I think, but don't worry. I won't just go on a hunch when I sort them. I will make sure it's right. And this is Kyle Van Noy. It is numbered for the Patriots to 50. A hollow foil, a couple of hollow foil inserts there. And a look at our rookies. So we're going, wait a minute, was that? Yeah, okay, that was Marquise Goodwin. So that was veteran base. I was just double checking. Here's our buyback card for this box. It is an Oiler. You'll see it on there, the foil stamp, I mean. So the former Houston Oilers are the current Tennessee Titans. Most of you have heard me say that a million times. But every once in a while, you'll find somebody who doesn't know how that works. So I always say it. Cards always stay with their franchise. So the former Houston Oilers became the Tennessee Oilers before ultimately becoming the current name Tennessee Titans. The Houston Texans are a completely different franchise, in no way associated ever with the Oilers. So any Oilers stuff has always headed to the Titans. And I know some of that stuff can get kind of dicey. You know, we pulled a Steve Largent the other night from Flawless, and it happened to be on the draft pick card set. So it always features the player with the team that drafted them, which, of course, in the case of Steve Largent was the Oilers, and he was traded in the preseason, of course, to the Seahawks, and that's the only team he ever played for in regular season. That is numbered to 6. It's Tyree Jackson, and Tyree is an undrafted free agent that has signed with the Bills. So yeah, so that was kind of, you know, of course it said the Oilers on it, so we knew it went to the Oilers / Titans because it said it right there on the card, and it said the card set was draft gems. But you know, most people, you think Steve Largent, you think Seahawks. It's the only place he ever played in the regular season. But he was drafted by the Oilers, and the person that had the Seahawks was super unhappy about it. But you know, sometimes Panini does weird stuff like that and puts in teams that drafted them and whatnot. It gets kind of crazy. Noah Fant. Noah, I believe, went to the Broncos in the number 20 spot that my Steelers traded up from. So I think he went to the Broncos, right? Isn't that where Noah went? I think that is where Noah went. Again, I would not say with 100% certainty that that's correct, but I think that's right. I know, Ruben says he's heard me say that 999,000 times, or roughly that. I might be paraphrasing the number he typed in. I know, but you know what? As sure as I don't say it, this would be the time that somebody wouldn't know about it and would, you know, later be unhappy about it. And so I find it's better just to always say it when it comes up so people know what's going on with it. Daryl, you're looking for Kyler Murray. We need to find you a little Kyler Murray action in here. All right, my friend, I will do my best to conjure up some Kyler Murray for you. See if we can find you something interesting. Meanwhile, we have DeAndre Walker as an autograph hit. And I don't know where DeAndre Walker went. I think the Titans. But yeah, that's another one I'm not like super solid on. Oh, Chris, now see, there you go. It was Chris. That's the first time Chris heard me say it. So see, there you go, Ruben. That's how. That's, there you go. So not everybody's heard me say it 999,000 times, but I feel you, man. Number 235. It is an artist proof for the Giants with Oliver Vernon. But yes, it's always interesting, the decisions that Panini makes with some of this stuff. Because, I mean, who would have ever... I mean, you would just never think that you would find Steve Largent as anything but a Seahawk. Unless you really stop and think about, oh yeah, he wasn't actually drafted by the Seahawks. But how many people stop and think that? Like, not many. Because why would you? Nobody remembers that part. CJ Conrad. Hey, he is A tight end from my University of Kentucky Wildcats. He was an undrafted free agent, but he's headed to the Giants. He signed a deal with them to join his UK teammate who was drafted by the Giants in the 7th round, George Asafo-Ajayi. CJ Conrad, he might be, he's pretty good. And I was kind of surprised he didn't get drafted. He may end up making it and doing okay there with the Giants. So I wouldn't totally, if CJ Conrad's headed your way, I wouldn't totally just, toss him up for a buck or whatever, if it were me. This one's a buyback headed to the Miami Dolphins. And as with the rest of our buybacks, it's seen a little love in its day. So not minty mint and perfect, but still pretty cool. I should have showed you that a little better. A signal caller again. And back to some rookies. A bunch of rookies. All right. This is Sony Michel, numbered to 10, Patriots. I'm going to be interested to see what New England does with Jarrett Stidham. I thought that was an unexpected choice for them to pick up Stidham. But you have to give them props. I mean, good Lord, look at the quarterbacks they've developed between Brady and Garoppolo. You can't take any quarterback that they choose and say, oh, that might not, what's going on there. You have to respect the pick, that's for sure. And even little what's-his-head that went to the Colts when Andrew Luck was out. What was that kid's name? Antonio Brown to 50, Steelers. Yeah, they get them in there and teach them the Patriot way. Well, so we're almost halfway done. When we finish this box, we'll be 3 down and 3 to go, which we're almost done with this box. Oh man, I hate getting this guy because I can't say his last name right. Amani Orwari, and I don't even still think that was even close. And he's who is he? Lions again, maybe? I have a hard time retaining the Lions draft picks this year in general. I don't know why. Can't remember who the Lions drafted for whatever reason. All right, so we're halfway done. 3 down, 3 to go. And I debated whether or not I wanted to open another case of Score or if I was going to sell it to somebody who wanted to buy it. I guess we'll probably open it. I'll probably work on it again next weekend somewhere along the way. Maybe Saturday. Sunday's Mother's Day, so maybe Saturday. We might start busting into it again. Preston Williams. I do not remember Preston Williams. And I should, because he has a weird signature that looks like it says pup, but it doesn't. Let's see if I wrote him down. Hang on. Sometimes I do. I'll write you down, Preston Williams. Oh, I did. He was an undrafted free agent who has signed with the Dolphins. So Preston Williams heads off to Miami. We have a numbered coming up here for Shaquille Griffin. It is to 35, Seahawks, of course. Yeah, I think my mother wants to put me to work for Mother's Day. That's usually what it is. We'll take her out to lunch or something, and maybe a movie or whatever, and then she likes us to do stuff like plant flowers and things that are harder for her to do physically. So that's usually what we do on Mother's Day. Have a little meal out, maybe see a movie, and then do some manual labor. But hey, it works out fine. As long as the weather cooperates anyway, it works out fine. This is a buyback. It is numbered to 20, and not only is it a buyback, it's an autographed buyback, man. This is Andre Reed. That's pretty cool, right? For the Buffalo Bills. I wish he had signed the card in kind of a different place, though. I mean, the signature gets kind of lost down there in the logo for the Bills, but anyway, I think that's a pretty cool little deal right there. So, numbered to 20. For the Buffalo Bills and an Andre Reed buyback autograph. I was hoping we were going to find one of those. I knew that there's a chance to get autograph buybacks, but you never know how frequently they're going to come out. If they're going to be easy to find or hard to find. So, nice to see that one. Michael Gallup, that is numbered to 10, Dallas Cowboys. Don't you kind of wish that Score would just not do the veteran base and that the pack would just be that? just the good stuff. I mean, I kind of do. I'll admit it. Now, see, there's another sweet little buyback right there, my friends. That is the Barry Sanders rookie card for the Lions, updated with the buyback stamp on it. And once again, you know, soft edges and corners and things. But still, I mean, that's kind of, that's pretty cool. You get the Barry Sanders rookie buyback. It's one of the iconic cards out of Score, from Score, however you want to say that. Because that was its first year of existence, of course, and one of the cards most commonly associated with the first year of Score is that card. It's hard to believe it's been around 30 years, though, isn't it? For me, it's hard to believe anyway. Maybe that just means I'm super old. It probably does mean that. We don't like to talk about that, though, do we? No. Let's not talk about that. All right, that's a start. Yeah. My chair is all squeaky tonight, isn't it? Sorry about that. I don't know why it's so squeaky tonight. Kyle Long, Chicago Bears. Is that numbered? No, I guess it isn't. It looks like it should be, doesn't it? But it isn't. So a little veteran autograph out there for the Bears with Mr. Kyle Long. And back to the little pile of rookies. You know, every year one of my distributors invites me to go to the NFL rookie premiere. You know, they have that multi-day event, typically in California, where the rookies all get their photographs taken in their uniforms, and they meet, you know, people who can offer them deals for endorsements and various things, and then they carve out a few hours to do like a meet and greet type thing with people like me. But I've never gone, but one of these years I'm going to. DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is a Seahawk. After falling a lot farther down the board than anybody thought he was going to go. Like, he went way down in comparison to where everybody kind of expected him to be drafted anyway. So that'll be a young man playing with a chip on his shoulder, that's for sure. I don't know. The only thing I know for sure is that I need Devin Bush to be a rock star for the Steelers. We gave up a lot to move up there and take that pick. And, you know, I mean, basically we're asking him to step into Ryan Shazier's spot, which, I mean, there's not going to be another Ryan Shazier. But I need him to do something anyway. Which, by the way, did you see Ryan Shazier? He got married and was able to dance at his wedding last weekend or this weekend. Recently, anyway. Can you even believe that? They gave him like a 20% chance of walking again, and he got to dance at his wedding. This determination. That Jake Browning that you just saw the autograph for is a Viking. The Minnesota Viking. And I'm so glad the Steelers did right by him, you know, and kept him around, have continued to pay his salary, kept him around the team, and I'm really, really glad that they did right by him and didn't do something, you know, crappy and try to cut him or do something awful. Kept him on the active roster and paid him ever since he's been injured, and I'm glad of it. There's Mr. Zimines, so now I guess I better go look him up. Didn't matter when it wasn't an autograph, but now it kind of does. Let's see here. Did I write you down, buddy? I did. He is the Giants. New York Giants have an autograph hit with O'Shane. We have a numbered card to 35. It's an artist proof. Marcus Davenport, Saints. That is, I will say, the one good thing about breaking score is by the time you break it a couple of times, and especially after you've sorted it a few times, you really do start to at least get a tiny bit of an idea of where everybody belongs, even though you have to still cement it, or I still have to cement it in my head. Greedy Williams, that one is numbered 250. Baker Mayfield was at the Kentucky Derby. In fact, he did the Riders Up call down in the paddock before the Derby, as a matter of fact. Always lots of NFL guys at the Derby, as there were this year as well. There's always tons of them. Sammy Watkins, that is numbered to 30 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, there comes our buyback right there on the top. It is Eric Thomas, Cincinnati Bengals. Ooh, my battery just gave me a low warning message. Hang on, let me get it plugged in. 1 second, guys. All right. I I have got to get switched over. Oh man, daggone it. I've got to get switched over to the new iPad so that I can get away from these battery issues. This one just doesn't seem to hold its charge. Now, why isn't it? Oh, hang on, sorry. Why is it still not charging? Now am I charging? Now I'm charging. Okay. Well, there's a little intermission for you. I mean, I had just charged that thing no time ago. A couple of hours ago. So, yeah, definitely time to ditch this one and get the new iPad pressed into service. I just hadn't wanted to switch because, I don't know, I have to look everything up again and sign into everything again and, oh, like that. But we're going to have to do it, I guess, bite the bullet. Alrighty. We are approaching the end here. Got one box and a little piece left. Clayton Thorson is a Philadelphia Eagle. It's one of the Colts rookies. That word was coming out of the mini camp that he was looking really good. I can't think which one it was. Tell me again. Does anybody remember who the Colts drafted? I would remember his name if I heard it. But I can't think who it was. Their little wide receiver, I think, is who it was that said was looking pretty good in the little mini camp. We have ourselves a 1-of-1 printing plate for the Vikings with Laquan Treadwell. Kind of cool that they give us the color imprint on the back now, which they never used to do. So that's kind of cool, actually. So Vikings have a nice 1-of-1 headed your way. And an autograph here for Will Grier. Will Grier, of course, will be hanging out trying to learn something from Cam Newton down there with the Carolina Panthers. All right, it is last box mojo time. So we're going to try to find the big hit in here. We've already had the Kyler Murray request, so maybe we can find Kyler in here, or Nick Bosa, or Josh Allen, some of our other big time guys that don't come out as often. That would be nice. Because definitely some people come out more than others. We all know how that goes. Dwayne Haskins. Wouldn't mind seeing a little Dwayne Haskins either. And, of course, we can't forget about Daniel Jones, you know. He got drafted awfully high up, so we kind of have to be on the hunt for him, too. Le'Veon Bell to 50. Steelers. Not really. He's gone. But Steelers on that card. So that's what matters. Kiki QT and the Texans. We have ourselves an autograph, and that is Miles Sanders. I have to look Miles Sanders up. Hang on a second, because I don't know Miles Sanders offhand. Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles. Darrell Henderson, numbered to 35. He is a Ram, I think. Buffalo Jr. is here. Hi, Buffalo Jr. You were calling it out over there. I just didn't glance over there and see it. He was already on it, typing it in. Eagles. Yeah. Yeah, many times you guys are right on it when I'm still having to think about it. I think in some ways it's easier if you're trying to, maybe you just have one team. If you're just trying to remember your one team, it's easier to remember those guys. Although, frankly, I still keep forgetting one of my Steelers rookies. Deontay, whatever his name is. He's not Deontay Thompson that went to the Cardinals. It's another Deontay that my Steelers took, who I had never heard of, frankly, before they drafted him. And I can't remember that kid's name, and that is my team. So that's pretty bad. But yet it happens. All right, so this guy, Little Jordan or LaJordan or however we're supposed to say his name, Humphrey, he was an undrafted guy. He has subsequently signed with the Saints. So Humphrey headed to NOLA. I kind of like that throwback design, but Epix is my favorite. I do really like that card design because it reminds me, of course, of the set of the same name that was maybe 2010 might have been the last year for that, but I wouldn't swear to it. Nick Brissett, and good old Nick goes to the Patriots. He's another undrafted guy, but he signed a little deal with the little New England Patriots. There was an interesting article that I saw. I cannot recall if it was Bleacher Report or ESPN or where I read it, but they were speaking about what the process is like for these undrafted guys immediately after the draft ends, and how it's like the wild, wild west. Cameron Jordan, Saints, the veteran autograph, and that they're going to lobby to have some changes made so that it, isn't so crazy, because these guys apparently, a lot of them are hearing from multiple teams all at once, and then they're telling them, you've got to decide in 5 minutes or we're going to move on to the next guy. And then some of the agents were speaking about how the teams might call the kid like during the draft and say, oh, get ready, you're on our board. We're going to try and get you in this round or something like that. And then not only would they not take him in that round, they wouldn't take him in any round, and he would be completely undrafted. But somehow the team would think that they had gotten a leg up on the competition, if you will, by talking to him and telling him they wanted him and were going to draft him, and how disappointing it was for the kids and all this sort of stuff. So it was a very interesting article from that perspective. So I wouldn't mind seeing them make a change and do something different. Baker Mayfield to 6 for the Browns. An end zone card set there. I think the basic suggestion that the article had was something along the lines of that after the regular draft ended, that they could do a few more rounds, but as an online kind of draft of some sort, where you could choose from these guys that were left over and have some kind of a system in place. I didn't obviously retain the entirety of it, but it sounded interesting anyway. Our buyback card is Duane Bickett for the Colts, Indianapolis. All right, that is the last of it. We've got a little recap to do though, so don't wander away. We do have some recapping. So we're going to take a look first at our cards that are numbered, but that don't have an autograph attached to them. So Phillip Rivers and the Chargers to 30. The Baker Mayfield there for the Browns, which is numbered to 6. Henderson numbered to 35. And once again, he's a Ram, I believe, on Darrell Henderson. Numbered to 50, Le'Veon Bell, Pittsburgh Steelers. A 1/1 printing plate. That's Laquan Treadwell for the Vikings. A buyback. The buybacks are not numbered, of course, but they're in here because they're only one per box. So we want to recap them. That's Eric Thomas for the Bengals. Sammy Watkins to 30, Kansas City Chiefs. Numbered to 50, it's Greedy Williams. Marcus Davenport, artist proof to 35. Sweet little Barry Sanders rookie card buyback for the Lions. Michael Gallup, numbered to 10, Cowboys. An artist proof to 35 for the Seahawks with Shaquille Griffin. Antonio Brown, Steelers to 50. Sony Michel, Patriots to 10. A buyback for the Dolphins with Mark Duper. Oliver Vernon, 35, artist proof for the Giants. Tyree Jackson. Tyree, where's your number, Tyree? It's on the opposite side of where I thought it was going to be. It's numbered to 6. I had to look him up before, and I got to look him up again. I still can't remember him. Tyree, where do you go, buddy? The Bills. An undrafted free agent headed to the Buffalo Bills. There's a buyback for the Oilers, which are the Titans. That's Grimsley. Kyle Van Noy, Patriots to 50. Numbered to 50, you have O'Shane Ximines, and we looked him up a while ago too, and he is a Giant. DeForest Buckner to 30 for the 49ers. Mitch Trubisky to 35, artist proof. Bears to 20, a Cooper Kupp for the Rams. Eddie Jackson and the Bears to 50. A buyback for the Bears, Steve McMichael. And then numbered to 30, Miles Boykin. All right. I accidentally stacked this guy there. He's a buyback too. Duane Bickett and the Colts. He should have been in the other stack, but it's all good. Our autograph hits: Cam Jordan, Nick Brissett, Little Jordan Humphrey, Miles Sanders, Will Grier, Clayton Thorson, O'Shane Ximines, Jake Browning, DK Metcalf. The Bears with a little vet autograph, Kyle Long. There's a buyback autograph, Andre Reed and the Bills. I really do like that hit. It's numbered to 20. Preston Williams, Amani Oruwari, CJ Conrad. Next up, DeAndre Walker, Noah Fant. Jalen is numbered to 35, Jalen Hurd. I think there's more than one Jalen in the draft. Hunter Renfrow, Byron Murphy, Devin Singletary, Patrick Laird, Trayvon Williams, TJ Hawkinson, and Deontay Thompson. So that is the break for tonight and the recap. I will put up our spreadsheet information one more time if anybody missed your anticipated shipping dates and or you want to know what's breaking in the days ahead. It's coming your way right now. So I'm expecting to get this score out the door approximately Wednesday. It really is a long, dreadful, painful sort. So I doubt it will go sooner than Wednesday. And there's always the slight possibility it could even slide into Thursday. But I'm going to work very diligently in the hopes of getting it out to you on Wednesday. That's my plan. That's the goal anyway. And as far as breaks coming up in the days ahead, tomorrow night, a flawless football half-case break and a full case of National Treasures basketball. Tuesday, Gold Rush autographed basketball jerseys, some Gold Rush basketball value packs, and some Bowman baseball. On Wednesday, TriStar Game Day Greats autographed football jerseys. Tier 1 baseball comes out Wednesday. We'll bust into it Wednesday night. Once again, we're starting early that night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Thursday, Tier 1 again, National Treasures basketball again. Friday, we're going to do Leaf Best of Sports. That's its release day. And we'll also open a half case of Gypsy Queen baseball. So I guess that's it for me tonight. I think that's all the news here on the home front. So as always, thanks everyone for being here. I very much appreciate it. I hope that you have an outstanding start to your week tomorrow and that you have a good week ahead. We'll be back at it tomorrow night, so if I don't see you then, I hope I do see you again soon somewhere along the way. So take care, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Bye now.